The meeting between Vern Jensen and Vicky Easterbrook began in the sterile, fluorescent-lit halls of an Idaho hospital. To Vern, a 20-year-old respiratory therapy student, Vicky seemed like the ideal woman, a seasoned registered nurse who was a sympathetic listener and a genuine person. But beneath the professional veneer of a caregiver lay a predator who viewed people not as partners, but as property. The shadow of ownership. The red flags appeared early, though Vern was too young to recognize them. After only a few dates, Vern took a weekend trip to Montana with friends. When he returned, he discovered Vicky had systematically called every Jensen in the phone book until she found his parents' house. When he confronted her about the invasion of privacy, she didn't apologize. Instead, she claimed him. "You're my boyfriend," she stated flatly. "I'm your girlfriend." When Vern tried to move to Twin Falls for a job, hoping the distance would cool the relationship, Vicky simply quit her job and followed him. It wasn't love, it was a siege.
Vern, it's me.
What are you doing here?
The poisoner's plan. Once they were married, the mask slipped completely. Vicky's temper was a physical force. She would turn red, her eyes piercing him, before she would resort to physical violence. During one argument over a fence, she struck him repeatedly, mocking him for his refusal to hit a woman, calling him a wussy and a coward. The most chilling glimpse into her soul came when Vern mentioned a rise in child support payments for his children from a previous marriage. Vicky didn't just get angry, she got homicidal. Leveraging her medical knowledge, she detailed the perfect murder, an insulin overdose injected between the toes to leave no trace for a medical examiner. Days later, she stood in their kitchen with syringes and a vial of insulin. She told Vern to go to his parents' house to establish an alibi while she took care of his ex-wife. Vern managed to stop her that night, seizing the supplies and dumping them in a grocery store trash bin, but the seed of terror had been planted. The kindred spirit. Seeking an escape from the psychological prison of his marriage, Vern met Alida Diane Ray while teaching a class at a nursing home. Diane was everything Vicky was not: compassionate, intelligent, and kind. They bonded over their shared struggles in difficult relationships, and Diane became the catalyst for Vern to finally pack his bags and leave Vicky for good. Vicky's response to the divorce papers was a haunting prophecy. "I don't believe in divorce. Divorce never. Murder maybe." The blue lipstick. On the morning of September 9, 1999, Vern left for work, planning to return later to pick up Diane and her 4-year-old daughter Jade for a trip. When he called the house, little Jade answered the phone. "Mommy's asleep," the toddler said, "and she's got purple lipstick on." Vern rushed home to find Diane cold and lifeless. The lipstick was cyanosis, the blue tint of skin deprived of oxygen. The police initially found methamphetamine and marijuana in Diane's purse, pointing toward an overdose. Vern knew better. He told the police from day one, Vicky did this. The final betrayal. The investigation stalled for 6 months until a tip broke the case wide open. Vicky hadn't acted alone. She had recruited her 15-year-old niece, Autumn, and Autumn's boyfriend, Matt Pearson, to help her carry out the execution. Under the guise of a domestic emergency, Autumn had knocked on Diane's door, claiming she had been beaten by her boyfriend and needed to use the phone. Once inside, the group ambushed Diane. In a scene of pure horror, they held the screaming woman down while Vicky, the nurse, injected her with a lethal cocktail of insulin and methamphetamine. When Diane didn't die fast enough, Vicky finished the job by pressing a pillow over her face until she stopped breathing. Vicky even considered killing 4-year-old Jade to leave no witnesses, but her accomplices refused. The perfect murder was eventually undone by Autumn's own ego. She bragged to a friend about the killing, claiming they would never get caught because they had done it before. Justice served. The gig was up. Confronted with the evidence and the testimony of their young accomplices, Vicky Jensen accepted a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, finally becoming the one thing she could never control, a number in the state's system.